Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our presentation from Top Gun Options called Trading the Death Star. That one stock, just one stock that you must have in your portfolio for the rest of your investing or trading career. Everybody's familiar with the Death Star, right, from Star Wars. The thing that essentially took over the universe was almost destroyed one time, taken out by a rebel alliance, but they rebuilt it and it got even stronger. Real quick reminder, I'm not giving you individual investment advice, and we're going to talk about options today, and options do involve risk, so make sure you check out the Options Clearing Corporation's disclosure, risks and characteristics of standardized options, and make sure you talk to a registered investment advisor or broker-dealer before you place any real capital and put that at risk. Quick question before we get airborne. Which fighter aircraft would you rather fly? Two choices. Choice A, the F-4 Phantom. Take a look at that picture, folks. 300 switches and dials. Very heads down. Very labor intensive, right? Instead of looking at it for enemy aircraft or surface air missiles or anti-aircraft fire, the pilot is heads down, looking at all these what we call steam gauges. Choice B, the F-35 Lightning. This is the Joint Strike Fighter, our newest, hottest fighter jet. Anybody see any steam gauges in there? Zero. 2 flat panel displays. The jet, we call it the Wonder Woman jet. First of all, it's invisible to radar, but the pilot's headset, his helmet, in his visor, he can actually, there's sensors around the aircraft, so when he looks down, he doesn't see aircraft or cockpit, he sees the ground. He looks up, and the jet projects onto his visor bubbles around surface air missiles with how effective the missile or the radar are. This jet is so smart, it actually limits the amount of air information displayed to the pilot at any point in that flight. Why does the pilot need to know about the fuel, electrical, or hydraulics, or oxygen systems when there's nothing wrong with them? So it minimizes. Why am I bringing this up? Well, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you silence your electronic nicotine, no distractions, because this is going to be a game changer for you. You have never heard what I'm about to tell you, okay? My promise in our brief time together is to give you an up-to-date intelligence brief with what's going on, show you the only stock you need to own, and I know that's a shocking statement to many of you listening to me right now, but it makes sense. And a good substitute for that stock in case it's a little pricey for you. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz, and I flew the FA-18 Hornet for the United States Navy for about 15 years. I graduated from the Navy Fighter Weapons School, which many of you know is Top Gun, and also flew 44 combat sorties over Iraq. Grew up South Jersey, South Philadelphia, one of 6 Irish Catholic kids, taught service above self, loved the beach, loved the ocean, wanted to be a pilot, and you put those two together like a Reese's peanut butter cup, Navy fighter pilot. Always interested in finance, though, in the back of my mind. You don't join the Navy to get rich, folks. Clearly, you join the Navy to serve your country. But I was always interested in finance, and I taught myself how to trade when I was a young officer learning how to fly fighter jets. And guess what I did? I started to apply everything I was learning flying a fighter jet, the discipline, the risk management, having a strategy, implementing tactics, contingency planning, knowing when to get out of a bad or good situation before it got worse. And I applied it to my trading with incredible results, folks. So eventually, I popped up on the radar of one of the largest volatility arbitrage firms in the world in equity options trading company, headquartered right there in the beautiful Chicago Board of Trade, right at that intersection right there, the intersection of Jackson and LaSalle. Those big vertical windows, that was actually our trading floor. I had an absolute blast. I helped build a hedge fund when I was there. I helped build a retail brokerage that was known as Options House, which is now owned by E-Trade. And just it was a blast. But you're probably sitting there going, hey, man, this kind of sounds like Eddie Murphy in Trading Places. Valentine, right? Little old retail trader going to the big leagues. I was the managing director of strategy for this $2.5 billion equity options volatility arbitrage firm, and I was the founder and CEO of the Options News Network, which we call ONN.TV. We went from essentially me to 80,000 traders of all skill levels in a year. I give you, folks like you, the inside scoop, what was going on the floor, large block options trade, unusual options activity. I was there, essentially the CNBC for options. That's a picture of the family before we left Chicago about 10 years ago. Everybody's a little bit older. I'm a little bit grayer. My son on the right, Matthew, he's at Norwich University in Vermont. I dropped him on his head when he was a kid because he wants to fly for the Marine Corps. And then on the left is Jack. He's a little more smart. So he wants to fly jets for the Navy. And then Keely is 12 going on 29, and she's not allowed to leave the house. But 10 years ago, we started Top Gun Options, and we haven't looked back. It's been an absolute blast. In the past 10 years, we have trained over 10,000 folks just like you how to level the playing field against Wall Street and win. When you think about it, trading is a form of combat. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. What side do you want to be on? Now, I'm going to break down one of the biggest mistruths that you've ever heard. And it's going to be shocking or not shocking to you, but Wall Street's lying to you. Period. Now, probably not shocking to you, but here's what the lie is. Anybody ever hear you can't, you better not, don't put all your eggs in one basket? Sure. I heard that day one of investing, and I always heard it repeat. Why? They're lying to you, folks. The only reason that they want you to diversify, diversification is important. Why it's important in investing, you must diversify, is this: money. Brokers, ladies and gentlemen, love to churn accounts. They want to get you in a bunch of different stocks that you don't even know about. Why? Commissions. Folks, brokers, especially in the old days, or not so old days, love to churn investors and traders' accounts because they get paid. Not only paid commissions from you, but order flow, payment for order flow. Google that and look that one up. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why they want you to diversify, because diversification is for people who don't know what they're doing. Think about that statement. If you know what you're doing, why would you be diversified? Or if you're in the best name out there, why would you be in 15 other stocks? Think about that for a second. The only stock you need to own for the rest of your life is Amazon, period. Now, picture's worth 1,000 words. Look at the Amazon annual revenue. That's in billions of dollars, folks. Can you say hockey stick? And as a result of this COVID crisis, what's happened? Unfortunately, mom and pops have been destroyed. Amazon has cleaned up. Amazon's purchased COVID, folks. It's been absolutely insane. Now, like a fighter pilot and an options trader, let's talk about the risks of trading a single name, a solo stock. Everybody remember Lehman Brothers? How about Bear Stearns? Right? Jim Cramer. No Jim Cramer from CNBC, right? Everybody remember when he was screaming that you're an idiot if you don't buy Bear Stearns at $70. $70, it's a steal, right? This was the height of the financial crisis. 2 days later, it was at zero. Good job, Jimmy. Pets.com, Enron. Look at these names. The cemetery of stocks that have gone to zero is packed, but they usually all have something in common. Mainly, they don't own anything. Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns didn't own anything, folks. It was paper, trades, air. Pets.com owned Pets.com, and a dirty sock puppet, Enron, was a middleman of electricity. Hell, they didn't even own the building they were in. So stocks can go to zero. That is a risk, right? This is a potential risk. A couple years ago, Donald Trump woke up, grabbed his cell phone, and started tweeting about how Amazon was destroying the post office and ripping us off and this, and he took a flamethrower to Amazon. Also because of Jeff Bezos, and he owns the Washington Post. Add 2 + 2, folks. So this is a potential threat, to be honest with you, but not that big of a threat. The President Trump's a lot of bluster sometimes and no bite. Now, the FTC is starting to look into Amazon, maybe even the DOJ. Did Amazon lie under oath about some of their, rules? How about the workers, especially during the COVID? No masks and working us overtime and everything like that. So there are potential risks, folks. But as I tell my members here at Top Gun Options, I wear 2 suits at Top Gun Options. I wear a flight suit. I'm going to tell you how I feel as an American, what I believe is right and wrong, especially as it comes, in this case, to Amazon. But I'm also going to tell you that I wear a $10,000 Armani suit like Gordon Gekko in Wall Street. So in Amazon's case, for example, the workers complaining, fire them. There's 40 million Americans out of work. Fire people who complain at Amazon and get rid of them or replace them with robots. That's the Gordon Gekko talking. The Wiz talking is me, and that just breaks my heart. I think workers should have safe conditions, blah, blah, blah. Here, you know what I'm getting at. You want to make money, you beat Gordon Gekko. You want a friend, get a dog, like Gordon Gekko said. So there are going to be certain times with Amazon, I call it a hold your nose trade sometimes, right? But think about Amazon, folks, especially the legal risk. Well, Wiz, the FTC is looking into maybe they break up Amazon. I would love that. Folks, Amazon's parts are worth more than the whole. Think about it. Years ago, I told my members, I'm like, I used to fly for FedEx, about 10 months, hated it, couldn't stand the night flying. Anyway, why did I bring that up? Because a buddy of mine in management, he 5, 6, however long years ago, he said, hey man, I just heard from a buddy in a leasing company that Amazon is leasing 5 airplanes. I'm like, he's going to do it on his own. He's going to build his own FedEx and UPS. Amazon Air. Look at AWS, Amazon Web Services. It's essentially Microsoft. Look at Amazon Entertainment. Amazon, you name it, Amazon's in it. Pharma. Whole Food, you name the industry, this is why I call it the Death Star, ladies and gentlemen. So the benefits of just trading Amazon is that you're going to be trading that name. And you can potentially profit. It doesn't matter what direction it goes, folks, up, down, or sideways. You stay focused on the news, the events that impact just Amazon instead of a whole bunch of stocks or ETFs. You become an expert in Amazon, reducing time spent on other positions. I have a buddy who's a market maker for Apple. I'm not joking when he says he doesn't even know there's a stock market, that a stock market exists. He lives, breathes, eats Apple. He's an expert on it. How about you? Is this what your trading platform looks like, or this? I have a good buddy here in Boca Raton. He's a back doctor, very famous, 8-hour days, 12-hour days, surgeries, office hours, everything like that. He asked me to help him trade, to teach him about options. I said, okay, doc, I met him at Starbucks. I'll never forget this. Met him at Starbucks. He opens his laptop, logs in to his E-Trade account, swings the computer around. I about fell out of my chair. This was his brokerage platform. You ready for this? 33 positions. 33. I think this is a pot stock. I'm not sure what that one is. This one, it's a loser. I'm just going to wait for it to come back. I'm like, dude, doc, stop talking. Oh my God. As a professional, 10, 15's really stretching at positions. How many of you, when I use this example, are like, eesh, my trading cockpit is probably a little cluttered? I guarantee you it is. Why? You want to talk, and I get it, folks. If you're sitting here going, hey, man, Wiz, I love this. You're right. I need to simplify my trading, my life, but I still, the diversification thing is so strong in my brain. How about this? XLY. XLY is an ETF. Why am I bringing up XLY? You ready? Because 25% of this ETF is Amazon stock. Look at the other names in there: Home Depot, McDonald's, Nike, Starbucks, Lowe's, Bookings, TJX, Target, GM. You want to talk about diversification? There you go. It's on the screen. So Amazon, being a $2,400, $2,500 stock right now, might be a little pricey to trade in the options world, but guess what? XLY is a great proxy for trading Amazon. So in the service that I'm going to tell you about, we also trade XLY. How do we target Amazon and XLY for max profit? Step one, we're going to establish what I call a base position. You can hop in that Joint Strike Fighter, that F-35, and fly out into the future in the options world. We can go 2 years out into the future. And I'm going to teach you how to establish what we call a synthetic stock position with options. It's just like being long stock Amazon, but you don't have to be a billionaire to do it. It's a fraction of the cost. Or I'm also going to teach you another tactic called a long call diagonal. And look at after each one of those tactics, not a strategy, folks. There's no such thing as an option strategy. They are tactics. A strategy is 100,000 feet. It's a financial strategy is saving for college, short-term income generation, retirement, buying a boat in 6 months. Those are called strategies. A long call diagonal or synthetic stock is a tactic. Then what do? Once we establish that beachhead, that base position out in time, we trade what is called the front months. What's a front month? You're sitting in a front month, June, July, August. If it's going up, Amazon or XLY, we trade bullish spreads or buy some calls. If it's going down, we'll trade bearish spreads or sell some front month calls. If it's moving sideways, we'll do an iron condor tactic. So that's how we target Amazon and XLY for max profit. This is an incredible service, ladies and gentlemen, and guess how cheap it is. Usually, our trading services here at Top Gun Options are $167 a month because we do look at multiple names, different options positions. And the portfolios are skill-based. We have a retirement portfolio, a weekly options portfolio, but Solo Amazon just trades Amazon and XLY, obviously. $97 a month. I live down here in South Florida now that we're all out of prison, almost. I went out for drinks the other night with some buddies that I haven't seen. Two of my drinks, I'm a tequila guy, 1942. It was $102. Or a nice bottle of wine is, look at that, $97 a month. Here's where I need you to go. I'll show you this page in a couple seconds. TopGunOptions.com/Solo, that's the name of our service, -Amazon, -monthly. $97 a month, ladies and gentlemen. Our Solo Amazon a month to date, by the way, I just, because Menline numbers don't. Take a look at the screen. $70,000. That's month to date, folks. Took a little bit of a hit with an XLY on a market pullback, but hey, if you ever look at a financial training service and all they do is show you winners and say they've never had a losing trade, a fool and their money are soon parted. Run. Losses happen, folks, but we are blowing it out of the water with Amazon. The Solo Amazon brief is every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Now, if you're sitting there, well, okay, Wiz, I'm a human. I work for a living. I can't be there Monday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern. Couple things. 80% of your fellow members work. I send out a time-sensitive text alert and email. You can be sitting at death by meeting, and your cell phone's going to buzz, and your Gmail is going to have a Gmail. I simultaneously send out an email and a text alert. The text alert has the text of the trade. The email actually has a screenshot of the trade, right? Here's for example, this is a bull put spread on the screen. How many contracts I'm doing, the expiration, the strikes, the price, and then the email also has the risk, how much I'm risking in this trade, and the probabilities. And guess what happens? About 30 minutes after the brief, we post the replay. So after work or after dinner, or maybe when the kids go to bed, whatever it is, you can watch the replay. It's posted about 30 minutes after the brief. Guess what I'm also going to give you today? I'm going to give you access to your proprietary manuals that you need. These is your aerodynamics, engines, meteorology. This is basic me in flight school. I'm going to give you these manuals, primary, intermediate, and advanced. If you went to my webpage today, these would be $197 to buy. So unless you're a Marine, you're sitting there going, hold on. It's $97 per month. Yep. But these manuals, if I just went and bought them just now, they'd be $197. Yeah. So you're saving, you just made $100. This is what we call a no-brainer, ladies and gentlemen. Quick reminder, here's what you get. Access to Solo Amazon Live Trade Brief. You get the text and email alerts, 3 skill-based manuals, and access to what we call our ready room. The ready room of a fighter squadron is where the pilots hang out before a flight, after a flight. I learned more about flying and fighting the Hornet in the ready room than I did from a manual, okay? So, quick review. Parmar made $200,000 in Amazon on 20 call contracts. Kevin, Amazon, synthetic stock, late to enter, up 200%, paid $8,000, now 24. Greg, Amazon core position up $50,000, and the value of the both positions is $144,000. Look at what Greg said. I don't need much more. Isn't that fantastic? I love when people have to say that. Did Amazon TGO synthetic stock 2 months ago, up $42,000. Diane, up $70,000 with one contract. This is fantastic, man. This guy, I listened to Wiz's free Amazon brief today. I'd been a Solo Amazon subscriber for a while. Here's a bit of information for Wiz to pass on to new potential members. In July 2019, I had one contract, Amazon synthetic. Right? I sold it in January and made about $6,000. I was just looking at it today. If I had hung on to it, I could sell that synthetic stock position and protective put for $33,800. Folks, Solo Amazon, $97 a month. Get it today, $97. If you do an annual, just shoot an email to support@TopGunOptions. We'll give you 25%. Okay? The page that I'm going to show you is just for the monthly. It's $97 a month, but I'll tell you what, just do that. Shoot an email to support@topgunoptions.com, and we'll hook you up with a 25% discount if you want to do an annual. Newest service, folks. They're usually, the other briefs are $167 a month. This is only $97. topgunoptions.com/solo-amazon-monthly. Ladies and gentlemen, clean up your trading cockpit. These are the 2 names that you need to trade. Real quick, I'll show you what the web page looks like and the order form. So folks, here you go. topgunoptions.com/solo-amazon-monthly. $97. You get the manuals, which are $197. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a no-brainer. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll see you Monday at 2 p.m. in the Solo Amazon brief. God bless.